Alright guys, welcome back to Crunch Time, the show where you get the best NBA DFS picks each and every day. Today we have a big 11-game slate, so I'm excited for that one. I'm sure Chris is here, joined as always with Chris, aka Chrissair, DFS, Chrissair in the industry. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, as always. Excited for the slate here tonight. We got a big one, so not much time to waste.
Yeah, not much time to waste. We haven't had a big one like this in a while, hey? Feels like...
That one 2 days ago.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, time... Yeah, I mean, it seems like a while, but Oh well. Yeah, let's get into the success posts then. I think all the trade stuff has settled, dust has settled there, so good to see that. Not going to be as hectic for a while, right, Chris?
Yeah, so same as yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably going to be more hectic today just because some new people will be joining their teams, but um, yeah, most of them aren't going to. So I think tomorrow is going to be probably a bit more strange, and the day after with new rotations and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, let's open up the success stuff over in the Discord. First up, we have Nick here. What is this? NHL, DK. Is this the main slate, I believe? Is this? Yeah. So 35 to 70 over there. Then some. Is this that college basketball that I was playing, Chris?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, did you figure out what teams those were?
yeah, we figured it out on the show yesterday.
So it's just like the teams that didn't qualify?
I don't know exactly how they pick it, but it's just a different tournament.
Got it. Yeah. Well, anyway, over there, 41.96. Good results there. I played that one too. Did quite well, but I only had entries in like $7 tournaments, so nothing great. To post, we have Weaver here. What did he do? He did 72, 143. Wiseman, he looks terrible. Like I watched him play a bit yesterday. I didn't watch the full game, but I just watched a few possessions of his. And I mean, I always hear criticism about him in our Discord all the time, from you, I think, from Thomas all the time as well. He just looks pretty bad. Like his footwork looks like he hasn't played basketball for very long. Not really sure about that. So there's a lot of guys they passed up to get him. Do you think he's just super raw? I mean, we've touched on this before, but I'm just kind of curious on that.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I'm not really a scout, so I don't know. Like, I mean, he doesn't look good, obviously, the eye test, but I mean, he's probably going to turn out to be a fine player. But yeah, right now he looks awful.
Yeah. Then we got the hug here. What did he do? 180, 237. Had some big tournament wins. I think earlier this week and last week he's been doing well. So playing some cash contests. No, this is actually tournament. Never mind. But yeah, solid results there. Probably some cash in there as well. Good to see that. Got Aiden here. What did he do? Every slate, probably every sport. So NBA, after hours, NHL, single game. What is this? NBA. No, this is NHL main slate here. NBA main slate on DK. This is that college basketball on DK, I believe. Late slate there. What is this one? Same thing. College basketball main slate on DK. Single game slate. College basketball, NHL late slate. Single game NBA slate. Another single game slate. Like he just does it all. Hard to keep up with. So good to see that. Turn and burn here as well. I think this one, I didn't see this one. Surprised I didn't see it. Let me click all of those. What did he do? Lots of NBA action here. Tournaments, cash, double ups, doing it all. Solid results as always. Love to see that. Let's pull up your DraftKings, Chris. So you cashed here, but I don't think we saw your post. Did you break even, or what happened on DK for you?
Yeah, I did a little better than break even, but I mean, I didn't want to post it. It was just like a few $100. I mean, it's not too impressive, so I didn't end up posting it. But yeah, here on DK, I actually missed the swap from Batum to Man, which was pretty costly. So I wish I kind of did that. Everything else here, I was talking about CJ quite a bit yesterday. I was saying I didn't like Dame. I kind of preferred CJ here. He played 38 minutes against Brooklyn the game before. So I got him really low owned here. So I liked that a lot. That was pretty much the difference maker here that allowed me to cash in a lot of contests. But yeah, everything else here was pretty chalky. Like we had all these Heat guys. Had a lot of talk about Tyler Hero because he wasn't starting. I had no problems with him either. I mean, either way, like Butler was still out, Dragic was still out. They were just playing him off the bench. Like he still got his normal minutes. So yeah, everything here was pretty good. CJ was obviously the big difference maker at 10%, going for 51.
Yeah. With the Batum swap, were you playing basketball? Is that why you didn't do it?
No, I saw it. I just kind of wanted Batum there instead of Man. I mean, I think Man got 33, but it happens.
Yeah. Let's open up FanDuel here. Quickly go over yours. Maybe find. Is there a train that we can just quickly open to compare?
So I mean, we could, yeah. So FanDuel didn't go well for me yesterday, but I really liked the team.
Okay.
Main thing that went wrong was not having RJ Barrett. He was 6'5", went for 50. He had like 11 at the half, so he went for 40 in the second half, which was a little ridiculous. So I mean that's the main thing that cost me here. Had a few guys that didn't do too well, like Ben Simmons. He was fine, 37. Wiseman, obviously the big guy that sucked here. He was 4.2K, only went for 10 points, which really hurt, especially on a night where RJ Barrett at 60% goes for 50, and I didn't have him. I had Harrison Barnes here, who shot like 1 for 10, only 2 real life points. So that was pretty bad there. And everything else here was pretty chalky. I think I landed on the same team as McLovin here, so I did like the construction. I thought it was solid. Another really good player was on the team as well. So yeah, it just happens sometimes.
I'm gonna call out Tyrese Halliburton. I think he went for like 21 points, ended up with 21 fantasy points as well. I
Yeah,
think he had like 1 assist and 1 turnover, so that zeroed itself out. But just points there, so that's a little disappointing. But I think he was shooting really well. Um,
yeah. Like the game before, he was like triple double machine. He was like 17 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, and then yesterday he goes for like a Colin Sexton line with 21 points, 0 assists, 0 rebounds.
yeah, had to call him out there. What else do we have? Is that it for the first part here? I think that is. We can get into the slate. Let's see the YouTube chat. David Korea is asking about John Cotter. I think they have their MLB draft soon. Rondo says DK crushed last night, especially CBB. CBB's been on fire. That's awesome. Worked hard on those projections before NBA started, so love to see that. Vian Jones, greetings, guys. Both lines cashed last night, 322, 321. Good to hear. John Cotter says David is going to draft the worst fantasy baseball team tomorrow. Oh my god. It's probably, no matter what though, it probably won't be worse than my NBA season-long fantasy draft. That was something. You can attest to that, Chris, hey?
Yeah, you got a little unlucky with some injuries, but yeah, it wasn't too good.
Yeah, it was probably the ugliest draft I've ever seen. Not even done myself, but just that I've seen. And it was done by myself. Was a little distracted, but I'll bounce back next year. I'm hoping that I kind of wish that the season carried through. Like if you perform poorly, maybe you get a higher draft pick next season. If you do well, I don't know, keep your players, something like that. That'd be cool. But you know what I just thought of? Maybe we can do like a season long cruncher one. That could be fun as well
Yeah.
next year for NBA. That'd be fun. But yeah, let's get into the slate here, Chris. 11 games here, so 22 teams. Lots of stuff to go over. I think lots of guys out as well, just in this massive slate. As you said, lots of moving pieces as well. But I don't think too many new players are going to start playing today. What do you like here today so far?
Uh, yeah, so there's a lot of stuff here. Luka's out, Dame is out. So we have a ton of news. Like if you go to the lobby of either site and build a lineup, like every single top player has a questionable or out tag. So it's kind of crazy today. Yeah, I mean you can go to it on DraftKings. We could take a look at that. It's just pretty crazy.
Lobby. Actually, am I signed in yet? Which
Yeah,
one?
just click on any of them. Draft team.
I don't think I have any money on DraftKings. I have $2 in my
You,
account.
you you don't have to. You just have to click draft team.
Oh, really?
bottom right. Yeah, so all these guys have a tag. Like, can you just go to all? Yeah, so all these guys, like, what is that? Like, 10 of the top 12 guys here, something like that. 8 of the top 10 here, 11. They all have a tag. So I mean, that's pretty crazy. Yeah,
You don't see that often, Chris.
I don't see that often.
Yeah. Yeah. So should we just get into the first game, Chris? Nets guys, Detroit.
Sure.
Yeah, let's open that one up. Let's see. Got some more chat here. Espo says excluded hero because I saw someone saying he's not starting. Didn't think not starting, but coming off the bench. Yeah. What do you think of the hero play yesterday, Chris?
Yeah, like he was still popping a ton in projections even after he was announced not starting. It didn't make a difference to me.
Okay. Dinda says, "Does Wiseman take a wise man back to back, asking for a friend? Does a wise man take? Oh, does a wise man take Wiseman back to back, Chris? Today?
Uh, does he take a Wiseman?
No. Does it take a wise man to pick Wiseman again today?
Yeah, he's definitely going to be sneaky here. Um, like no one's going to play him. Most likely, still the same price. Really good matchup. I mean, he pops a lot in projections as well, so maybe some people will play him. But yeah, I think he's a good play. Really sneaky tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we always talk about that actually. Like when there's pretty good, like a good play, does poorly, burns a lot of people. Next time out, he's still a good play, and then goes under owned because people just got burned by him, but still a good play. So I kind of like that as well. But I wonder if he's going to be popping in our lineups today. I guess you already know. I haven't really checked. But anyway, first game up, we have the Brooklyn Nets against the Detroit Pistons. Brooklyn side, we have KD out, Shamit out, Blake Griffin in, Kyrie Irving out, and then James Harden questionable. Projected starters, Harden, Bruce Brown, Joe Harris, Jeff Green, and DeAndre Jordan. I think last time out, obviously Harden wasn't playing, but I think all the Nets guys did pretty poorly. I was hoping for a big game from one of them, but I don't think we had any big games from any of them, right? We had like a decent game from Brown, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, that was an awful game against Utah. So even if Harden's out here, like I don't expect the Nets to struggle as much as they did against the best team in the league right now, the Utah Jazz. So yeah, but I think that Harden's going to play here. I think all signs point to that. It's not a back-to-back like last time. He played with this injury as well previously, so I think he plays here. He's my favorite spend up on the slate with no Kyrie Irving. I'm glad that we have this game as the first one of the slate, just so we get the news right away. In the last couple of days, they were on the West Coast road trip, so their games were always starting at the end of the night. But today that's not the case, so I love Harden here. If he doesn't play, we'll just pivot. But if he does play, he's just an easy lock for me in both formats, both sites.
Yeah, you're right. They did play the best team in the league. Now they're playing. Are they the worst team in the league? Pistons?
Yeah, they're definitely down there, but I mean, they play pretty slow. But the Nets are just so injured with their top guys, so there's definitely going to be value if Harden is out, and even if Harden's in, like there's a ton of value just because he's going to run the show.
Yeah, and do you think it might go a little bit less owned than last time Harden was out with all those guys just because they didn't do too well? And it was like the last game they played.
If Harden is out,
Yeah.
no, I don't think it'll matter. So that was a back-to-back, so there was some concern about some of their older guys not playing as much. Um, but yeah, I don't. Even if Harden's out here, like I'm gonna jam in Bruce Brown if his price is good. I haven't checked it out yet. These other guys as well, probably Jeff Green. Uh, yeah, we'll see though.
Got it. Vian Jones says, anyone drinking the Elise hashtag Nets guys, not me. Apparently, there's two Elise Johnsons, Chris. Like, there's one on Toronto or something.
No.
Was that? Did I get tricked? I think I saw that on Twitter. Are you sure?
Really? Is there?
Yeah,
I'm not
there's
sure.
two.
No, it's the same one. Like, this guy was on the Raptors G League team before.
Oh, because I saw someone post something on Twitter. Maybe it was, I don't know, maybe it's probably a joke or something, I guess. But someone said, like, what are the odds of two Elise Johnsons being in the league? Picked the wrong one or something. Same price, exact same name.
I don't know about that one. Yeah, this guy was on the Raptors before, so
Okay, then that makes sense because I saw Raptors as well.
yeah. But
Um,
I'm not too interested in him, honestly. Especially if Harden plays. There's no reason to play Johnson. He had a big game because they didn't play their veterans much. Like Joe Harris played 3 minutes. Jeff Green didn't play the second half. Bunch of their guys were kind of resting. They kind of conceded the game. So I don't think that's going to be the case today at all. They're favored to win, so I mean I think they get it done.
do you know how to pronounce it, Chris? Vian Jones says I'm pronouncing it wrong. There's a liquor that's called that, but I'm not gonna say. I guess I'm saying it wrong. How do you say his
I
name?
don't know. Maybe Alizé. I don't know how
Alize?
to pronounce the liquor though.
Alize?
I
Uh,
mean I watched the game. I think it's Alizé
Alize?
or maybe Alize, something like that. I don't know.
Who knows, guys? Come on. Um, anyway, other half here. Um, of course, John Cotter knows hashtag margaritas from him in Aruba. Detroit side, we have Dennis Smith Jr., questionable tag. Corey Joseph, he was traded to Detroit, still, I think, questionable. Not sure if he'll play, probably not. Jahlil Okafor out for them. Hamidou Diallo probable, and Rodney McGruder probable as well. Projected starters: Dennis Smith Jr., Wayne Ellington, Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, and Mason Plumlee. Anybody here, Chris?
Um, Before we get into that, we just got news that Harden is in, so that's good to hear. Nice and early. He's going to be 100% owned in cash games, I imagine. But yeah, on the other side here with Detroit, I don't have any interest in these guys. You could play Jeremy Grant in a tournament. Obviously, we like to target the Nets, but I'm not too interested here. Maybe like Dennis Smith Jr. or Saban Lee with DeLon Wright traded, but I don't know. I don't love this spot, honestly. I think I'd rather backload other than Harden and wait for more news and see if we get anything else.
Okay. Apparently you got it right, Chris. Vian Jones, the pronunciation there. But we don't know which one because you had a few guesses.
Yeah, probably Alizé. Alizé.
Alize. Could be. But yeah, next up we have Boston, Milwaukee. Let's go over Boston first. We have Semi Ojeleye out for them. Evan Fournier traded there, out still. Tristan Thompson out for Boston as well. Luke Cornett is questionable. Mo Wagner questionable as well. And then Romeo Langford also out for them. Projected starters: Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Robert Williams. I know you have probably some interest, or do you have interest in Robert Williams today, Chris?
I mean, if it was a smaller slate here and we didn't have all these like top guys out today, I would have a lot of interest. But it's kind of hard to play him at his price range today.
Tournament play?
Yeah, he's a really good tournament play. Like they traded Daniel Tice away, so I assume that Robert Williams is going to get the start. Maybe they'll start Grant Williams or something. But I mean, this guy's just a point per minute monster. If he plays 26, 28 minutes, he always goes for like 40 points. So, I mean, I love this guy in tournaments. I think he's one of the best tournament plays on the slate just because of his upside. But I don't think we need it in cash games on this giant slate. And then there's Jaylen Brown as well, who I'm pretty interested in. 8.4K on DK, 8K flat on FanDuel. So I think the FanDuel price makes a little bit of sense. He's been playing very well recently as well. So I don't mind Jaylen Brown. He's probably my favorite Celtic in cash games here on this slate. Jason Tatum, don't really want to mention him. Like we just have a giant slate here. Don't want to mention everyone, so I'll skip over him. Same thing for Kemba. Same thing for Smart. So for the most part, it's going to be Jaylen Brown in FanDuel cash if you want him. for 8K, and then Robert Williams in tournaments on both sites. I'm good with that.
Looks like we have your favorite tournament play of the day already. No, you said
No.
it's your favorite play, tournament play, one of your favorites.
Yeah, one of my favorites, but
One of your favorites.
can't be Robert Williams. I don't know. I don't want to say that.
Vian Jones, really excited, Chris, about your pronunciation. It's the one that you said last. What is it, Elise?
Alize, maybe?
Yeah, so he's happy about that you got it. We missed a comment here. Nick said, ready for another great night of DFS heading into the weekend. It's Friday. I forgot about that. So that's exciting. Got some indoor basketball tomorrow, so that's also exciting. But yeah, other half here, Chris. Milwaukee side, we have PJ Tucker, doubtful. Bryn Forbes, probable. And then Kuruk's out for Milwaukee. Projected starters, Drew Holiday, Dante DiVincenzo, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Brooke Lopez. Anybody that you like on the Bucks, Chris?
Yeah, so it's just going to be Giannis here. I think he's a pretty safe spend up here, especially on DK where he's only 10.7K. I think it's the lowest price tag we've seen on him in a few months. So I really like taking advantage of that. He had the down game last time out, only played 32 minutes, scored 35 fantasy points. But other than that, he's been putting up 60 plus consistently. So I like him a lot. Love him in DraftKings cash games. I think he's a really good spend up. You're probably going to decide between him and Jokic as your spend up there on DK. I prefer Giannis. We have a 235 over under here, which is the highest on the slate. So I like that a lot. But yeah, that he's the only guy here that I'm interested in.
Okay. Let me pull up the next game. Wasn't prepared. It's just a lot of games today, Chris. Next up, we have the Phoenix Suns against my Toronto Raptors. New look for the Toronto Raptors. I was scouting out Paul Watson actually a bit for the Raptors. I think he's out today, but he looks pretty solid for them. Maybe take some of those minutes from Norm Powell when they're missing some bodies. So I'm actually interested in Watson if there's a day for them to play, for Watson to play if one of their guys is out. It's an interesting play for me, but not today. But yeah. So Phoenix side first, we have Abdel Nader out for them. Bridges, probable projected starters, Chris Paul, Booker, Bridges, Crowder, and DeAndre Ayton. Ayton still 6'1" on DK. FanDuel, what is he? 6'5". Had some good games recently. I think this last game where he got 33, I think he had the same score like all throughout the fourth quarter. Didn't get to do much. Going into the fourth, I think he had like 33. So could have done a bit better. I think he did play quite a bit in the fourth as well. So feels like he can get 40 on any given night the last few games, but probably not a good cash play. I'm not sure if his upside is interesting at all in tournaments for you, Chris, but what do you think of Ayton here today?
Yeah, so he's the only guy I've interested in on DraftKings here on the Phoenix Suns. Like you said, he's 6.1K. Last 3 games, he's played 32 minutes at least. Before that, he had a stretch of like 3-4 weeks where he hadn't played 30 minutes, was kind of averaging around 24. So with his minutes up, he's very interesting here on DraftKings for 6.1K. I think he makes for a really good tournament option here. Like he's just, the minutes are up now. Like this guy crushes with minutes. If he can get up to 36 somehow, he has 50-point upside. So I like him a lot here. He's my favorite Phoenix Sun on the slate today. Don't want to play Booker. Don't want to play Chris Paul. I think they're a little too expensive for me. So it's just DeAndre Ayton here.
Got it. So Toronto side, what do we have? We have Pat McCaw out, Bembry out, Rodney Hood and Gary Trent Jr. both probable actually today, Chris. So that's interesting. So some new guys might probable. You always consider that they're in. So some new guys playing for the Raptors. Paul Watson out for the Raptors. I think he has health and safety protocol. So hopefully nobody else gets it there. But yeah, projected starters. We have Kyle Lowry, Fred Van Fleet, OG Anunoby, Siakam, and Baines. Any interest in the Raptors, Chris?
No interest. This is, I always say it, Phoenix Suns, one of my least favorite teams to target. Play good D. They don't play very fast. And then on top of that, we have these new guys entering the mix for the Raptors that we have no idea how they're going to handle. So I have no interest here in the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, it kind of looks ugly. Like, who do they have here? They have their main guys, Van Fleet, Siakam, Lowry, Anunoby as well. Baines, the 5. It kind of looks ugly, doesn't it?
They still have their main guys. Like,
Are they going to...
just don't know who it's going to be. Like, they have Van Vliet who can get there, Siakam, Lowry, OG, Boucher. All those guys can get there. All those guys can suck. So I don't know. I don't want to pick anyone here on this giant slate.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you think any of them are going to get like some boosted minutes? Because Norm Powell obviously played a good role in the rotation. What was he, like 20, 25, 27 minutes a game?
No, he was like 35. But I mean, they added 2 bodies to the mix, so that's an extra 2 bodies there. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, should be an interesting one to watch for me as a Raptors fan. Before we go into the next game, got some comments. Let's go over that. Harden in from Brent. That's good. Good. Fully Driven says, what does Chris have up top that he keeps looking at? Like a stock ticker of breaking news scrolling by.
Yeah, pretty much. And I have my music there, so that's how I control it. I look up, and then I also have my Twitter feed.
Are you controlling music while we're doing the show?
Yeah.
You have music playing?
Yeah, otherwise dead silent.
What? Should we be playing some music for our audience as well in the background?
Yeah, maybe some like low music. Could be a good idea.
Yeah, we could do that. Jeez. Yeah, I mean, talking to me, you got to have music on in the background to prevent the silence.
No, I mean, I'm talking to myself most of the show, so like it's too quiet if I'm just talking to myself here.
That's true. You do most of the talking here. But maybe we could play some music. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Even then, I wouldn't hear the music you're playing, so I would still have to play my own music.
Wait, what are you playing? Like, no lyrics? Like, what are you playing right now?
Yeah, just some random playlist.
Okay. Jeez. That's new. I didn't know about that. That's crazy. Dinda says, how do you say it again, Chris? Elise?
Yeah. Elise.
Says Elise pronounced like Alice in WNBA. Had that Brittany Griner dunk the other day. That was a good one. Followed by the Rob Sacre dunk. Those are 2 good ones for sure. Fully Driven says, aka what is this? Juana man? Juana?
I don't know what that is.
Me too. Deshaun says Zingis or Wood on FanDuel, Chris.
Porzingis for sure.
Yeah. Fully Driven says you're listening to Limp Bizkit. Some good songs there. They have some good ones.
I'm not listening to Limp Bizkit.
What did they have? They have like My Way. They have another one that I like. They got some good stuff. Brent says, set the mood, fellas. Yeah. You should just listen to our intro song on loop, Chris.
No. It would be too much.
Okay. Austin says the cookie. That's a good one too. Isn't it called Nookie or something? I don't know. Anyway.
I think so.
VN Jones says Alice say.
Pull up the basketball ref.
What's his last name? Johnson?
Yeah.
Let's see. Alize.
Alize.
Not Alice say. Alize.
Alize Johnson.
Alize. There we go. Yeah, we take our name pronunciations very seriously here. What else? Dinah says Ramones. Is that what you're listening to, Chris? Do you even know any Ramones songs?
I don't even know who that is.
Got it.
Rock band? I probably know a song if I pull
We
it
had
up.
Dinda post his record. He has a record, untouched, unplayed. I think he said.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I know the Ramones.
there we go. Next up, we have Denver Nuggets against the Pelicans. Denver side, it's quite a lot of stuff here. So we have Monte Morris out, Gary Clark traded to Denver. Not sure if he's playing. I think it says trade pending, so I guess not. Greg Whittington, doubtful for them as well. Aaron Gordon, McGee, also traded there, but also pending, so guessing they're out with the pending status. Projected starters, Jamal Murray, Will Barton, Michael Porter Jr., Paul Millsap, and Nikola Jokic. Does anyone get a boost today in terms of minutes, Chris, on the Nuggets in your eyes with the guys that they've lost? I think they got rid of, Gary Harris always hurt. Who else did they get rid of?
I think they got rid of R.J. Hampton, Hartenstein.
He was a second unit guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, for like he hasn't played in a while, so not really. I think no one really changes. Like Gary Harris has also been out for a long time, a few months. So yeah, nothing really changes, but it is a really good matchup here against the Pelicans. I was kind of like one guy only from the Denver Nuggets just because everyone else is sort of priced fairly on most slates. And it's no different here. It's just Jokic. He's 10-5 on FanDuel. DraftKings, he's 10-6. I was kind of mentioning the 1v1 on DK with him versus Giannis. I currently prefer Giannis, but Jokic is right there. If you prefer him, I have no problems with that. He's been crushing just like Giannis. So if you want to play him, no problems with that. I think he's a really good tournament play here against the Pelicans. High scoring projected team here, high scoring projected game here. So, I mean, it's a tight spread as well. So, I do like Jokic a lot. So, if you want to use him as a second stud alongside Harden, no problems with that. But like I said, I currently prefer Giannis.
Got it. Other half here, Pelicans side, we have Wesley Iwundu traded there, but says also pending, so I guess he's out. Alonzo Ball out for them. James Johnson also out. Projected starters, we have Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Eric Bledsoe, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and Steven Adams. Are you surprised? Were you expecting Lonzo Ball to be traded, Chris? I wanted to ask you that.
No, I don't know. I didn't really have an opinion on that one. I don't know. They probably kept him if they think they're going to re-sign him, and then if they didn't think they were going to re-sign him, they would have traded him. So I guess they'll re-sign him. But yeah, I didn't really have an opinion. But on this Pelicans team, it's always just two guys that interest me: Ingram and Zion. Not a great matchup here. They're implied to score 115, so it's not awful. I do really like Zion a lot. I always like him. Just always seems so safe with his floor. If you want to play him for 8-3 on FanDuel, no problems with that. I prefer him over Ingram, who's also 8-3. On DK, Zion is 8-7, Ingram is 8-2. Also prefer Zion there for $500 more. So he's my favorite Pelican. I don't love them. I think if you're landing on him as a last piece, that's where I don't mind playing him. And then Nickeil Alexander-Walker, he's 5-3 on both sites. So I don't hate that play either. Obviously, Lonzo's out, like we were saying, so he's been getting the starts. He played 34 minutes last game, shot 14 times. So he's pretty aggressive. He's blowout-proof as well. But like I said, this game has a very tight spread, so we're not expecting a blowout. But yeah, mostly my interest comes from Zion here.
Okay. Got some questions. David Chris says Hart.
Hart, 5-6 on DK, FanDuel, 5-8. I think it's just a little too expensive here on this slate. He's been playing very well. Put up 5 steals last game. I don't think that's very sustainable. This stat line is kind of crazy. 2 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals. So that I don't think he can reproduce that one. So I don't love it. I think he's a little too expensive for me.
Yeah, that's a crazy stat line. KJ says, do you guys still do a giveaway at 30 likes?
Yeah.
Yep. Next game up, Miami Heat, Charlotte Hornets. Miami side first, we have Udonis Haslam out for them. KZ Okpala out. Jimmy Buckets questionable. Gabe Vincent probable. Nemanja Bjelica out for them. Goran Dragic out. And Victor Oladipo out as well. Projected starters, Kendrick Nunn, Jimmy Butler, Duncan Robinson, Trevor Ariza, and Bam Adebayo. This Heat squad looks kind of deep. Their roster looks like it's a solid roster for sure. Like lots of solid pieces in there. Some good vets as well. Like Nemanja's a solid piece. Oladipo's a solid piece. This looks like a solid squad here this year. Should be an interesting team to watch come playoff time. But who do you like there today, Chris?
Yeah, so I mean, Dragic is still out here. Butler is the news that we're gonna have to wait on. If he's out, we're gonna have a ton of interest in the Heat again, just like we did yesterday. Guys like Hero, Nunn, Bam as well. They're all gonna become great plays if Butler ends up missing this game. So that's a good reason to backload on this slate if you can. If we don't get the news, obviously, in 20 minutes with the injury report. So yeah, this just it entirely depends on the injury news we get. I think if Butler is in, we can still play Trevor Ariza on DK. I think he's 3.4K still, so very cheap. I like him as a value playing cash games a lot.
Got it. Other half here, Charlotte side, we just have Brad Wanamaker out for them. Projected starters, Devontae Graham, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, and Bismack Biyombo. Any interest there, Chris? Graham, is he still an interesting play at his price tag, or are they all priced up now?
Yeah, I'm not too interested in the Hornets here tonight. They have a pretty low implied team total at 107. This is the second lowest over-under on the slate. So I don't know. Like I think Gordon Hayward is the only guy I'm interested in here on FanDuel specifically, where he's 7K. DraftKings he's 8K, so I think that's way too expensive right now in this matchup. So he's going to be the only guy for me on FanDuel, probably tournament only, just because we have so much value with this Luka news from the Mavericks. So yeah, it's just Gordon Hayward on FanDuel in tournaments for me here.
Okay, let me load up the next one. Vian Jones says, I like Ingram better than Zion in this matchup in the Denver-New Orleans game. Small forward against Denver, Chris. Is that a good thing?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I always feel safer with Zion. Always gets you like 45 plus. Ingram has those games of like 25, 30 sometimes if his shot isn't falling. That's why I prefer Zion, but I mean, it could obviously go either way. Like Ingram can be the high scorer on this team on any slate. So if you want to play Ingram over Zion, I have no problems with that.
I think he's been looking better lately, though. BI.
Yeah, he put up 44 last game, 54 the game before against the Denver Nuggets, actually. So I mean, if you want to chase that, go for it. Be my guest. Yeah, I think what did Zion put up? Zion put up 40. Ingram put up 54 2 games ago against the Nuggets.
Are the Pelicans in playoff contention, Chris? Like, are they fighting for a spot, or where are they in the standings?
Yeah, I think they sort of are. There's the play-in game this season, so top 10 teams have a chance. They're currently 12th. They're 3 games behind the 10th place Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'd love to see Zion in the playoffs, BI as well. Be fun to watch. Next game we have the Trailblazers against the Magic. Portland side first, Zach Collins out, Damian Lillard out, Norman Powell traded there from Toronto, questionable. We got Nurkic probable today, and then projected starters, Anthony, Simons, CJ McCollum, Derek Jones Jr., Robert Covington, and Yusuf Nurkic back in after, I don't know how long it's been, Chris. Who do you like here? Nurkic 5-1 on DK. What do we have him on FanDuel 5-2? Do you think Nurk could be a sneaky play, or are we expecting a minutes restriction for him? What's the situation there?
Yeah, he's on a restriction. We don't even know if he's starting. They're probably going to start Cantor, I would assume. So I don't want to play Nurkic here. But with Dame out, we have a ton of interest in CJ McCollum. I think he's a lock for me on this slate. 7-7 on DK, 7-5 on FanDuel. So just way too cheap here in this role without Dame playing. We've seen him go for 50 pretty consistently in these situations. So I like him a lot today on this slate. I think he's going to be very chalky. obviously without Dame playing. And then Anthony Simons, I expect him to slot into the starting lineup for Damian Lillard. I also like him a lot. He's 3.7 on DK. FanDuel, he's 3.5. So really good price tag on both sites. Kind of prefer it on DraftKings where he has more flexibility with his positions. I think he's also shooting guard eligible there, so that's pretty helpful. So yeah, it's mainly those two guys. I think they get the biggest bumps here with Dame out.
Okay. Orlando side, we have Terrence Ross out for them. I think he was questionable earlier in the day, so good to see that he's out. But I was kind of interested in him if he was going to be in. I think he has the knee, so he's out. R.J. Hampton out. Cole Anthony out. Otto Porter, Jeff Teague, Gary Harris, Wendell Carter Jr. all out for Orlando. They lost Vucevic. They lost Fournier. They lost Gordon. So, and they have a lot of guys out. I'm just wondering if this the team will be interested in today, Chris. Projected starters: Michael Carter-Williams, Bacon, Ennis, Okiki, and Kem Birch. I saw Kem Birch posted a sad tweet the other day. Posted pictures of him with Evan Fournier, Vucevic. Just a sad one, reminiscing. Sad that his guys are gone. Are we interested in anyone on Orlando today, Chris?
Yeah, we have a ton of interest here. The only tricky part is we don't really know who's going to step up. Like, they obviously acquired a few guys. They're not playing today. Wendell Carter mainly. So I do have interest in these guys. Terrence Ross is still out, so I think Michael Carter-Williams is going to have the biggest role here on this team in this situation today. So I like him a lot on FanDuel, where he's 5.5K, I believe. Let me just see.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, 5.5, and then DK is 6.6, so can't play him on DK for that price tag, but I think on FanDuel he's an easy lock for us there. And then on DK, some of these other guys are actually more interesting. Guys like Bacon, Kem Birch, even Mo Bamba. I don't mind taking some shots on Mo Bamba, especially if he's starting. I think he could be pretty sneaky. We obviously know the block upside that he has, so I like him. But in cash games on DraftKings, it's mostly going to be guys like Bacon. He's 4.8K over there. Like you said, we expect him to start. I don't know how this is going to play out. They could just spread it out. Maybe one of these guys will step up and take a big usage role. It'll be interesting to see, but I think Dwayne Bacon's pretty safe on DraftKings for 4.8. Kem Birch 4.4 on DK, FanDuel 4.8. I think that's a good play as well. He's always been a good point per minute guy. Now with no Vucevic, should have a really good opportunity to play a lot of minutes. So I like him a lot there as well.
Yeah, give me some Kem Birch. He posted a sad tweet, like I said, so I like that narrative, the sad boy narrative from Kem Birch. So I'll be playing some Kem Birch for sure. Vian Jones says probably the last game getting CJ under 8K on DK, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, without a minutes restriction, he's been crushing all season. Yeah. We saw it last night. Probably going to see it again tonight, obviously, with no Dame.
Yeah. Roll King says, feel like half the NBA is out. Yeah, it does feel like it.
Yeah.
Jones says, I can see a lot of snowflakes on that Orlando team, Chris. Are we going to get some of that Disney magic, winter magic?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's either going to be a lot of snowflakes or a lot of flames. I don't think there's going to be anywhere in between. I mean, I'm hoping it's going to be a lot of flames there. But yeah. I wouldn't be surprised at all if there's a bunch of snowflakes.
Dinda's giving us a forecast, stormy weather, blizzards ahead, Chris.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Houston, Minnesota. Let's go over Houston first. So Kevin Porter Jr. doubtful for them. Avery Bradley out for them. Dante Exum out for them. Kelly Olynyk out for them. Projected starters: John Wall. What's this? Sterling Brown, Danwell House, Jason Tate, and Christian Wood. Is it just me, or is the Houston situation kind of ugly, Chris? Like, I know their coaching is questionable. John Wall is questionable. Is John Wall washed? Like, what's up with John Wall, Chris? They lost, like, LeVert. They had Oladipo. It just seems like a pretty bad situation over in Houston. What's going on there?
Yeah, I don't know. It's very ugly. John Wall doesn't look good, but he's been putting up big numbers DFS wise. So I mean, we still like John Wall here. He's 8-2 on FanDuel. DraftKings 8-3. Really good matchup here against the Timberwolves, obviously. So I think he's going to be one of my favorite tournament options today. Didn't have a great game last time out, but he still did his thing. Like very high usage rate. Just dribbled the ball all game himself. So I mean, that's what we like in DFS when we're picking guys. Don't like to watch it, but it's a really good situation for him. So I like that a lot. I think Christian Wood is actually pretty interesting here in this matchup as well. He's 7.7K on FanDuel, 8.4K I believe on DK. Hasn't looked too good recently, but I do like the matchup here a lot. As long as this game doesn't blow out, he should probably see 36 minutes. The only concern, obviously, is a blowout. It's a tight spread, though, only 4 points favoring the Timberwolves. So, I mean, I hope it doesn't blow out. But, yeah, I like Christian Wood as well if this game stays close.
Yeah, definitely ugly situation. Minnesota side, we have Malik Beasley out for them. I think one more game, last game out before he's back from suspension. Then we have Kogi out for them as well. D'Lo also out. Jordan McLaughlin questionable. Projected starters: Ricky Rubio, Ant-Man, McDaniels, Vanderbilt, and Catman. What happened to Layman, Chris? Where's Layman?
Yeah, he's just not starting anymore.
Wow, I like saying his name, but yeah, who do you like there, Chris?
I like Cat a lot here today on this slate. I think he's going to go very under-owned. We love the matchup against Houston always. So I mean, I think Cat's my favorite guy here. Anthony Edwards, he's a little too expensive for me, around 8K on both sites. I feel like I always say it. He shoots the ball a ton. So I mean, if you want to play him in tournaments and hope his shot is falling, you can easily do that. I think there's pretty good value in that in tournaments. Don't really want to play any of these other guys though, so I'm just gonna stick with Cat here in tournaments. He's gonna be my favorite option.
Okay. Next game up, Indiana Pacers, Dallas Mavericks. Indiana side, we have who is this? O'Shea Brissett. We got a note for him. It says 10-day contract. Do you know O'Shea Brissett, Chris?
No, I don't.
Should we look him up or?
No.
Okay. Projected starters, we have Brogdon, Karis LeVert, Justin Holiday, DeMontis Sabonis, and Miles Turner. LeVert 7-1 on DK, 7-8 on FanDuel. Seems a little bit too high with Brogdon and Sabonis in the lineup. Used to take advantage of his price tag over on FanDuel. Was a must play before when he was too cheap. But seems like a stay away now at that price tag. Anyone that you like here, Chris?
I think LeVert is actually pretty interesting on DK, where he's 7.1K. He's been playing very well recently. Same thing for Sabonis. Like, you could play any of these guys. We're going to have a ton of interest in the Mavericks on the other side. So if you want to run it back with someone, you could play Sabonis, you could play Brogdon, you could play LeVert. I'm fine with any of those three guys. If I had to pick my favorite on both sides, I would say Sabonis. We've seen the upside with him all season long. Hasn't been playing too well recently, but I still like him for the upside that he does possess. So he's going to be my favorite Pacer here. Just to use as a bring back if you want to, just because we're going to jam in so many Dallas Mavericks here.
Okay. Mavericks side, we have JJ Redick out, Tyrell Terry out, Willie Cauley-Stein out, Nick Melly, how do you say his name? Nicolo Melly?
Yeah, something like that. I think they call him Nico.
Nico Melly out for them. And then Luka Doncic is doubtful. Projected starters, we have Jalen Brunson, Josh Richardson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Maxi Kleba, Kristaps Porzingis. So yeah, obviously we have the doubtful news on Luka, assuming that we're just going to assume that he's out with that doubtful tag. Is that correct, Chris?
Yep.
Yeah, so who do you like there on the Mavs?
Yeah, so the direct guy that benefits the most here, just going to slot into Luka's position, is Jalen Brunson. He's a lock for me on both sites. He's 4-5 on DraftKings, 4-8 on FanDuel. So really good price tag there. He's going to be probably 100% owned in cash games. So free square there. Don't want to talk about him too much. I like him a lot in tournaments as well. I don't think you want to fade that. We've seen him put up huge games without Luka playing, so I wouldn't fade it in tournaments here. Kristaps Porzingis, the next guy I'll mention here. 8-1 on DK, 7-5 on FanDuel. He had the huge game last time out as well, up against the Timberwolves, put up 54 fantasy points. So yeah, I like him a lot here without Luka. Obviously, he's been in this situation before. I think last season he had a stretch of he was putting up 60 consistently without Luka. So I like him a lot here. I think the upside he has as well is crazy. So he's probably my second favorite Maverick after Jalen Brunson. So I love Kristaps Porzingis. Prefer him a little more on FanDuel where he's cheaper, but on DK still a really good price tag at 8.1. And then some of these other guys on the wing, guys like Josh Richardson, Tim Hardaway Jr., Dorian Finney-Smith, kind of bundle them all together. Play the guy who's priced the best. So on FanDuel, Dorian Finney-Smith is 3.9. Josh Richardson is 5.2K. Really like both of those price tags. They get bumps obviously without Luka. Luka's one of the highest usage guys in the league, so there's a ton of usage here to go around for all of his teammates. And then another guy, last guy I mentioned here, Maxi Kleber, 3.8 on FanDuel still. I think that's a really good price tag here as well, especially against the Pacers who usually play two bigs. So I like the matchup here for Kleber a lot.
What do you think of the JJ Redick trade to Dallas? I feel like it's a good fit. They used to have they had Seth Curry there as a nice just give more floor space with his shooting abilities. I feel like JJ is a good fit there now with no more Seth Curry there.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I'm not too high on JJ Redick anymore. I think he's a little old, but yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay. Next game up. What do we have? Vian Jones says LeVert, good DK tourney play, playing him in one of his three. We got Trigger in here. Says, "What's up, ladies and germs?" What's up, Trigger? We haven't seen Sports Simmer here in a while as well, have we? Where's he been?
Sports Simmer, he's probably watching that other guy, DK DFS, whatever his name is. I know Sports Simmer loves that guy.
He's probably simming some games right now. All the games. It's a big slate, so he probably has 11 different PlayStation 4s, PS5s, whatever it is, simming every single game right now. if I had to guess. Trigger says Hamidou Diallo debuting for the Pistons tonight. Don't sleep. I thought is he out?
No, he's back here today. I think that report came out a few minutes ago, but yeah, I'm gonna sleep on that one. Maybe if he's starting, that'll be interesting. Obviously, without DeLon Wright, 4-1 on FanDuel is actually pretty interesting. So, yeah, I guess I was sleeping. I think 4.9 on DK is probably fair, but that price tag on FanDuel is pretty interesting.
Yeah, Trigger woke you up. Next game, we have the Grizzlies against the Utah Jazz. Memphis side, we got Gorgie Jang. He is waived by the Grizzlies. You used to like Gorgie Jang, Chris, didn't you?
Yeah, on Minnesota, but I mean, he always crushes when he gets minutes. So if he goes to a team where he can get 30 minutes, he'll put up 40 fantasy points per night. But I don't see that happening.
Yeah. So yeah, Memphis side projected starters. We have John Morant, Grayson Allen. I think Grayson Allen had a pretty nice dunk recently. Was it the last game? Didn't know he had that in him. Dylan Brooks, Kyle Anderson, and Jonas Valanciunas all projected to start. Anybody that you are interested in, Chris, on the Memphis side?
Not really. I always mention John Morant. I think he always has that upside that that can win a tournament for you. Other than that, no one here. They play very deep, a very large rotation. So it's just John Morant just because of the upside he has. But it's a tough matchup here. We have the biggest spread of the slate, 9.5 favoring Utah. So I don't love it.
Yeah. Vian Jones, I think on Hamidou Diallo says probably on a minutes restriction.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And then your boy Brandon says, was he hurt? Why would he be on a minutes restriction?
Yeah, he had the groin injury.
Has he sat for a while already?
I think he's been out for 2-3 weeks. Let's see. He hasn't played since February 24th. So he's been out for over a month, actually.
Should be good though to go, if I had to guess.
Yeah, but definitely on a restriction if he's been out for a month with a groin injury.
Could be. Is it always like most? Is it ever no restriction coming off of something like that? Does it depend on the player? Like what?
No, I mean groin injury is something that you have to be eased back in, otherwise you can easily re-aggravate it.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that what the month off kind of helps with?
Yeah, but he hasn't played a game, so that's what the restriction is for, just to ramp them up.
Got it. Got Brent here with a comment on Gorgie Jeng, Chris. Not sure if you can see it, but Utah side we have Matt Thomas. He's out for them. Sad to see him go from the Raptors. He's a sniper for sure. Projected starters: Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, Bojan Bogdanovic, Royce O'Neal, and Rudy. What was his nickname? Not the Rock anymore. COVID baby. What is it? Pandemic.
Corona
baby?
kid. Corona
Pandemic
kid. Corona
Yeah.
kid.
Rudy Corona Kid Gobert. That's the one. Projected to start there. Any interest in the Jazz, Chris?
No, I don't know. Like, I mean, they're implied to score 119 points here, so it is a lot of points. If this game stays close, Donovan Mitchell or Corona Kid could get there. It could crush, could reach a ceiling, but I don't know. We have a giant slate here, so I'm not too interested in cash games for sure. In tournaments, like I said, Donovan Mitchell, probably my favorite guy here.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. We have the Atlanta Hawks against the Golden State Warriors. Atlanta side, Chris Dunn out for them. Lou Will, Sweet Lou out for them. DeAndre Hunter, questionable tag. Projected starters: Ice Tray, Kevin Herter, Tony Snell, John Collins, and Clint Capella. Seems like for some reason, I just feel like one of Capella or Collins could have one of their ceiling games today facing the Warriors. That's just a feeling that I have. But yeah, who do you like here on the Hawks, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good matchup here. This total here is surprisingly low, though. It's 218.5. So I don't know how to feel about it. Like Trae Young, 9-1 on DK, 8-7 on FanDuel. So, I mean, the price tag is pretty fair for him. Obviously, he's always my favorite Atlanta Hawk. They got rid of Rondo, so probably opens up a few more minutes for Trae Young, but he's already been playing a ton. So, I mean, I'm fine with him. I like him a lot in tournaments, as always. Not landing there in cash games, as always. And then, yeah, like you said, Capella, Collins, I think they could have a ceiling game, one of the two. I definitely agree with you there. Hunter, he's actually questionable now. I think he was probable before and then downgraded to questionable, so I don't think he ends up playing here. So that's probably 20 to 25 minutes to go around to someone like Kevin Herter, Tony Snell, Bogey, Gallo. So if you want to fit in one of these guys as a last piece, I don't mind it. And then if you want to jam in Trae Young in tournaments as one of your spend ups, I definitely don't mind that as well.
Yeah. Vian Jones is with me, says at the end of the night, I'm going to regret not playing Capella. Yeah, I just feel like one of them could have a good game. Also, I just saw on Hamidou Diallo, Chris, Coach Casey said that he is not on a minutes restriction, but he's coming off the bench.
Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much a minutes restriction. Like if he was starting, we would have some interest, but off the bench he'll probably play, I don't know, maximum 28 minutes, 26 minutes.
Isn't that enough? What was he, 4-2 you said?
Yeah, he's 4-1 on FanDuel, but I mean it's an absolutely loaded position there at point guard, so that's the problem. Like we have Brunson, we have MCW, who are just absolutely great plays here on FanDuel.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got in the chat. Trigger says, do you think a winning lineup is going to have a Jazz player?
I would say no. I mean, what do we have here? 22 teams. I think statistically, mathematically, it's more likely it's not going to happen. So I would say no.
Okay.
We got news that Bobby Portis is
Huh?
out. We got news that Bobby Portis and PJ Tucker are out.
Yeah. So you got the math take there. What does your heart say, Chris, about the Jazz in a winning lineup?
I'll say no.
No as well. Okay. Trigger says, give me some Bogdan Bogdanovic off. Hunter is out. If Hunter is out, Chris.
Yeah, for sure. I like that a lot. He's been playing very well recently. Minutes around 30. So yeah, I like that call a lot.
Yeah. Brent says Draymond Green not on the injury report, takes Scano Anderson off the table. PJ Tucker out tonight. Nobody even noticed. Does that matter, Chris?
It matters a little bit, I guess. Him and Portis being out it makes me like Giannis a little more honestly. Like Portis plays 20 minutes per game. How many has Tucker played? Let me see. Tucker's been playing like around 15 minutes per game for them. But yeah, I don't know. It probably opens up some more minutes for Thanasis and Giannis. Definitely not playing Thanasis, but yeah, it makes me like Giannis a little more.
Thanasis is a thug. He's out there just to hurt people. Sometimes it looks like it.
I think he could actually be sneaky here. 3K on DK
Oh
at the
god.
minimum. If he plays 20 minutes, I mean, he's a crazy hustle guy. So I mean, he could get you maybe 20, 25 fantasy points if you want that, but very risky.
His stat line would probably most likely stat line is like I don't know, like 2 offensive fouls, like 3 other fouls, maybe a flagrant foul, 3 turnovers, and maybe a block or 2, a steal. That's it.
Yeah.
Do you, like he would have no business being in the NBA if Giannis wasn't his brother, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was in the NBA before on the Knicks earlier. I think when Giannis was a rookie or something. But yeah, at this point, I definitely don't think he would be in the NBA without Giannis.
Yeah. Um, let's see what else we have. Juan Toscano Anderson crushed with Draymond out the other or with Draymond the other night. Gonna take a chance. What do you think of taking a chance on JTA?
Let me see this. So,
He had a nice. I think he had a nice windmill dunk. He picked the pocket of De'Aaron Fox and went for a windmill dunk. That's pretty nice for someone who plays the 5. I think that I like that. That's nice.
is that a top shot moment?
Yeah, it should be. Could be.
Yeah, so 2 games ago against Memphis, Draymond played 31 minutes. Toscano Anderson played 24 and got 42. I mean, he had 3 steals, 2 blocks, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. So he was like a mini Draymond there. But I don't know. I think it's probably a little too thin for me
Yeah.
on this giant slate. But have we gone over the starters here yet?
No, not no. We haven't done anything for the Warriors yet. Just going over some chat.
Okay.
Still some more chat here. Dinda says Trez played with Dwight Howard's melon last night. How many technicals were given out in the? Was it the first quarter? Like 5 or something? I didn't see that first quarter.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Was it an ugly game?
I didn't watch it. I just caught a few highlights of it. But yeah, I saw a lot of technicals given out.
Yeah. Austin says heads up. Aaron Gordon in the player pool for Denver and Orlando. Actually, there's a lot of players on 2 teams right now, Chris.
Yeah, it's the guys that were traded.
Gotta check that out.
No, I don't think it really matters though.
They all have 0, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. They're
Yeah.
all at 0. If there's anyone that has a projection that has two names, I don't think there is though. I think it's just the guys that got traded. Maybe Fournier, but I could definitely delete some of these guys
If they have projections.
yeah. But I don't think anyone does.
Yeah. That's interesting though, because we haven't had. I don't think we've had a trade deadline with our tool yet, have we, for NBA?
Well, I mean, it's just because earlier in the day when the slate was released, these guys were on like Aaron Gordon, for example, he was on the Orlando Magic when the slate was released. Like he wasn't actually on the team, but on in the DraftKings player pool, he was on the Orlando Magic,
Oh yeah.
and then they changed it to Milwaukee, so that's why we have both. But if there's anyone that has a projection like that, yeah, you can tell me and I'll remove it.
Yeah, because we do get our player pool information, data, prices, positions from FanDuel and DraftKings. Yeah, so good heads up there, Austin. Thanks for that. Trigger says is about Thanasis. He's going to get a good contract because of his hype man abilities. Not enough minutes for me. Wait, that's not Thanasis. Who is that?
He's a good cheerleader.
Thanasis?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's do the Warriors side, Chris. So we have Draymond Green, probable. Touched on that already a bit. Eric Pascal, questionable. And then Steph Curry out with the pure metal tailbone injury. Projected starters, we have Jordan Poole, Kelly Oubre, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, James Wiseman. Are we going to see some, what do you call them, Maple Jordan, Poutine Pippen today from Wiggins, or no? Is that over?
Yeah, we saw it yesterday again. So, I mean, definitely in the realm of possibilities here. Yeah, I was just checking. Like, we have Gary Trent who's playing today, who got traded yesterday. If you look him up, you can see that he has a projection for the Raptors, and then his Portland profile doesn't have a projection. So everything should be fine, even though there's two of them. But yeah, on the Warriors here, most of my interest probably comes from someone like Draymond. I think he's pretty interesting. 7K flat. No one's going to play him. He's been playing pretty well. I do like the matchup here against the Hawks. Andrew Wiggins as well. He's pretty interesting. Like you said, Poutine Pippen. He played very well yesterday. So if you want to take a shot on him in tournaments, it's something I don't mind. And then Jordan Poole, same sort of thing. James Wiseman, probably my favorite tournament to option here on FanDuel, just because he burned everyone last night. I don't think he's going to be very popular. Today we were kind of talking about that at the top of the show. But he could go for, 30, 35 fantasy points here in this spot. So he's probably my favorite guy here.
Yeah. A question from Trigger says, who is Trae Young guarding?
Probably Jordan Poole.
Yeah. Also wanted to ask, so we had the Poutine Pippen. Has anyone here not had Poutine before? Like, I wonder if anyone in the chat here has never had Poutine. You've had Poutine, Chris.
Yeah, probably like 2 times. So I don't know.
Wow. Yeah, last game of the slate, we have Cleveland, LA Lakers. I'm excited for this one, just because Drummond has been freed. So that's just amazing news. I'm excited to see where he ends up. Maybe the Lakers, and they're playing today, but obviously he wouldn't go there today. I was trying to look up the buyout deadline. I couldn't find anything on that. It seems kind of like ambiguous. Is there a deadline for it?
I don't know. Maybe there isn't one. Maybe it's when the playoffs start, something like that. But I saw there was some interest in Drummond on the Heat as well.
Yeah. But yeah, let's go over this game. So Cleveland side, we have Isaiah Harkenstein, however you say his name. He's out. Taurean Prince out. Sexton, questionable. Matthew Dellavedova out. And Kevin Love also out. Projected starters, we have Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, Isaiah Okoro, Larry Nance Jr., and Jarrett Allen, who is now 7-9 on DK. What is he on FanDuel? 6-7. Anybody here that we like, Chris? Does it depend a lot on Sexton news?
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, I'm not going to wait for that news. We just have so many good games, so many good situations starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. Even if Sexton's out, Garland got a price up. He's 6.5 on FanDuel now. He was 5.5 before, 6.8 on DK. So I don't know. This is just a stay away spot for me.
Okay. Lakers side, Marc Gasol. Questionable. Projected starters, Dennis Schroeder, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, Kyle Kuzma, Markieff Morris, and Marc Gasol. Anybody that you like there, Chris?
So Austin says we can't run DraftKings lineups right now. I think you can. You have to exclude 2 players. Make sure they're not the same player. So don't exclude Aaron Gordon twice, and then you'll be able to. But yeah, on the Lakers here, actually, I'm going to remove Aaron Gordon for that reason because I bet you a lot of people will do that. But yeah, on the Lakers, I think it's just Montrezl Harrell here who I'm interested in. I think he got a little bit of a price decrease. He's 7.4 on FanDuel. Sorry, 7.4 on DK. So actually, that's an increase. But I think he's probably my favorite Laker here. like I said, it's not a great game here. This is the lowest over/under on the entire slate. So there isn't too much that interests me. If you want to play Harrell, if you want to play Kuzma, I don't mind it in tournaments, but definitely can't do it in cash games.
Okay. Trigger says this game shouldn't be broadcasted, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar to that OKC Memphis game that we had a few days ago.
Yeah. Okay, let me reset these filters here. Done. Austin says it works. Yeah, we also had Rick in the YouTube chat say Opto isn't working for DK. Were you responding to Austin in the Discord, Chris?
Yeah, just make sure I mean, most people exclude players with zero projection, so Aaron Gordon is at the top of that list because his name starts with two A's. And if you exclude him twice, it doesn't work because it's the same player. So just make sure you exclude two different players. But regardless, I removed the Orlando Aaron Gordon, so shouldn't have any problems.
Let's refresh that. Rick says it works now. Aaron Gordon was appearing twice. Yeah, Austin says I excluded him twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's gone now, so shouldn't have that issue for anyone else. Let's see. Let's get into our three key plays here, Chris. So overall play of the day, tournament play of the day, value play of the day, then tournament play of the day. Overall play of the day, cash tournaments, just your favorite play for Friday. Who's that guy here?
It's going to be James Harden. Just love spending up here for James Harden in this spot.
Yeah. And then value play over on FanDuel. Who do you have?
Value play, it's going to be Jalen Brunson here with no Luka. Yeah, just love the spot here.
Okay. And, that's not up. And then tournament play on FanDuel. Who's your play here? I think you mentioned a few guys, one of your favorites. Who did you have as one of your favorites? You mentioned two guys already.
Yeah, I think I mentioned Time Lord, and then I mentioned this other guy who I'm going to go with. I'll go with John Wall here, just because he's not going to be very popular, but he dribbles the ball so much, has a crazy high usage rate for his price tag. If the game stays close, if it stays competitive, I expect Wall to put up 20-plus shots here. Obviously, he assists the ball a lot as well, rebounds, gets some steals. So I think he's going to be my favorite tournament play.
Okay. And then DraftKings time. Overall play there. Who do you have?
Same thing, James Harden.
And then value play?
Same thing, Jalen Brunson. And then
tournament play?
Same thing, John Wall.
Wow, nice. Okay. Let's look at the cores that you put out today. Let's put the filter up. So we have Harden, CJ McCollum, Kristaps Porzingis, Michael Carter-Williams, and Jalen Brunson, all guys we've touched on already. Maybe just quick overview, why you like them, and then we can get into the lineups.
Yeah, so all these guys are just too cheap for their new roles, other than Harden, he's still too cheap, but it's on a new role. No Kyrie, no KD, so we want to jam him in as our spend up, or at least I do, so that's why I have him there. Brunson, Porzingis, easy plays without Luka, MCW. Most of their team was traded, so I think he's gonna be the main guy there, in my opinion. And then CJ with no Dame.
Okay. Which ones do you want to go over? So we have some Jokic, number 3. Got some Christian Wood. What do you like?
So I like the first one, and then I like the third one as well.
Okay. Forgot to fix this. It's still the wrong order. I'm going to write a note while you go over these. So I do fix this today, but the order is still wrong, Chris. So this is the higher projecting lineup at the bottom. Let me highlight the differences, but yeah, get into it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's going to be pretty chalky here on FanDuel. These point guards, I think this is the chalk duo in cash games. These shooting guards, chalk duo. Power forwards, chalk duo as well. I think everyone's going to play these guys there. And then the differences will be a 3v3 with the small forwards and center decision. So between these two lineups, we have Jaylen Brown, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Wood in the higher projected one. And then we have Richardson, Justin Holiday, and Jokic in the second one. I kind of like the I like the higher projected one, honestly, here. Just feel a little better with just not taking Justin Holiday. I don't love him here. I'd rather go to Dorian Finney-Smith, who I think gets a pretty big bump without Luka. I like Christian Wood against the Timberwolves. I like Jaylen Brown a lot. He's been playing very well also. So, yeah, I'll go with the Christian Wood side here.
Okay. Then it says 5 technicals in the first 9 minutes last game in Miami. Colored floors drove them nuts.
Really? I didn't watch that game, so.
Wait,
Yeah,
who was it? Miami versus.
Portland.
There was live technicals in that one too.
I'm not sure. I guess so, if he said it.
Wow, I'll watch that one. Highlights of that one. DK, let's go over your cores. Got 4 guys here: Harden, Colin Brunson, and I think Ariza, who we didn't have on FanDuel. So you already touched on those, Chris. Except for Ariza, maybe you can mention again why you like him while these lineups build.
Yeah, so touched on all these other guys, and Ariza 3-4 here. He got the start yesterday. I expect him to get the start here again today. Played 33 minutes, I think. So just a really good value play on this slate, and then we can take a look at these first 2 lineups.
Okay. Order still the wrong way, but yeah.
Yeah, so this is what I was talking about at the top of the show. It's just a 1v1 between Jokic and Giannis. I'll go over the rest of the lineup here. I think Harden is going to be very chalky. Anthony Simons, 3-7 here, shooting guard eligible. So he's more in play here on DK. Bacon, not my favorite play, but I think he's a little cheap here for this new role. Obviously, they're missing pretty much all their starters. No Vooch, no T. Ross, no Evan Fournier, no Aaron Gordon. So yeah, Bacon should have potential to have a good game here. Trevor Ariza, just talked about him. Kem Birch, 4-4. Really good price tag there as well with all those guys missing. CJ, 7-7, no Dame, easy play there. Brunson, 4-5, no Luka, easy play there. And then this 1v1, Jokic versus Giannis. I was saying I was leaning Giannis earlier. I still do, especially with this Bobby Portis and PJ Tucker news. I think that kind of makes Giannis have a little bit of a higher minutes floor, maybe an extra 2 or 3 minutes. And that goes a long way with someone like Giannis. He's just a beast point per minute wise. So yeah, I like the Giannis side here.
Yeah, I like that too, especially with the news that you mentioned, Portis and Tucker.
I was gonna say the only reason that I would go Jokic here is just because his game starts 30 minutes later. So if you don't lock in Giannis in this 7:30 game, wait for 8 p.m. with Jokic. You can wait for the Heat news if we don't get it in time. So that's a pretty interesting strategy as well, just because Bam would become a really good play at center there. A bunch of these other Heat guys would also become great plays.
Gotcha. Before we wrap it up here, Brent's saying, who do you prioritize if Butler is ruled out, Chris?
Yeah, so kind of just what I was talking about. I think Bam would become a great play once again. Kendrick Nunn. I mean, you could look at the game yesterday, just because they have the same. If Butler's out, it's going to be the same rotation as yesterday. Yeah, so let's pull that up. Portland, Miami. Yeah, so I mean, I have the box score here as well. So the highest minute guy on the Heat was Tyler Hero, played 35 minutes. So he would become a really good play again. Kendrick Nunn played 34 minutes. He would become a great play. And then Bam played 32 minutes. He would become a great play. And Ariza, we were already on him, but I think he would become a better play as well.
Yep. Royal King says, after hours game. Let's do that quickly. Let's load it up.
Yeah, I'm actually playing this slate today. It's pretty ugly. It's the 2 games we don't love with Atlanta versus Golden State and then the Lakers-Cleveland game.
Let's pull up the players card so we can see the favorites in the 20 built here. Guess you can go over it like this. Chalky plays here, Chris, and then maybe some of the lower. I don't know. How do you want to do it?
I mean, it's only 2 games. We went over the games already. The interesting thing here on this slate is the power forwards. I think there's only 4 power forwards that get minutes: Draymond, Markieff, Dean Wade, and John Collins. I think every other position has more guys. So power forward is the position that I think is. I mean, if you could find a guy that people aren't going to play there other than those 4, I think you could be very different.
Yeah. What about, we got the Sexton questionable tag, right?
Yeah, we do.
Would that change quite a bit here? I guess you'd get more, what's his face? Garland?
Yeah, you could get more Garland. I mean, he's still popping a lot. But yeah, you would get more. I think Lamar Stevens from the Cavs would also become more viable. He's power forward there. He went for 32 fantasy points in 17 minutes a few games ago, so he has some upside there. Obviously, they got rid of JaVale McGee as well, so I think that's pretty sneaky. Lamar Stevens.
Yep. Got a question. Is Kyle Lowry playing? It looks like he's playing. I don't see anything that said he wasn't playing. He doesn't have a questionable tag or anything like that. So yeah, he is playing so far. Anything else you want to go over, Chris, before we wrap it up here?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Let's do the last bit of housekeeping. Anyone new here, if you want to try out the optimizer, our projections that we have for every single slate, all the different main sports on FanDuel and DraftKings, and even the niche sports, esports as well. Head on over to dfscrunch.com, set up an account for yourself, and then you'll automatically get a free 3-day trial. No coupon code or special link needed for that, just as long as you're a first-time member. You'll get 3 days for free, so you won't be charged until after 3 days, so 72 hours from when you sign up. More than welcome to cancel that trial before the 3rd day or 72 hours. Won't be charged at all, and you get to try it out for free. You get access to everything during that trial, so do highly encourage anyone who hasn't tried it out yet to go and try it out at dfscrunch.com. Super sharp projections across a wide variety of sports, all the sports, so it's a good community here. You also get our Discord that we don't really show throughout the show, but it's pretty active, got some good members there, so definitely join the Discord as well if you're a member. And I think that's it, guys. Before you go, do hit the thumbs up on the YouTube video. Helps us grow our channel, helps people find it, so we do appreciate that a lot. And then if you're not subscribed here, enjoyed the content today, do click the subscribe button, bell button, and all, so you can get notifications when we go live. But it's pretty straightforward. We do this show here, same format as today, every single day, 2.5 hours before the main slate. So do subscribe if you enjoyed it today. And I think that's it, guys. We'll be in the Discord as we always are, updating projections like we always do, answering any questions you guys have there. So if you have more questions, head on over to the Discord, ask them there. And I think that's it, guys. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Good luck today. And yeah, see you guys all tomorrow.